What's going on, good people? Just giving you a quick midweek update, let you know where we are at. What we should expect is today's move. Was today's move a real move? Are we going to see a trend reversal in the month to come? Or was that a fake out? And should I be holding my shorts or maybe even stacking on my shorts because I anticipate to see lower downside in the month to come? These are going to be some of my thoughts as far as what I'm looking at. Right now, you can see on your screen, I have a 2-week. And if we look back at some of the updates that I put inside of the forum for ETH updates, we talked about this aqua line being a trend line that needs to be broken. Relatively, this 1668 area we want to be claimed. And then we have pretty much a nice pull, if you will, to move up to this 1923 benchmark. We've tested it. We haven't broken it yet, though. So keep this in mind. This is based on a 2-week. So our projections were we wanted to see by midweek us make a move outside of the mid 1500s and reclaim the 1600s. It's kind of what we did today, but if we look down on lower time frames, and what I mean by lower is I'm talking about like a 2-day, we can see what that move looks like. And if we put that in conjunction with our other patterns, we were talking about a falling wedge. So this dash line, the spider line, it's obviously being tested. We're not broken out of it just yet. So this is something to take into consideration in the sense of saying, hey, was this a fake out? I still want to see 1607, even 1615 area to be claimed within the day, right? On a 2-day time frame. So over the course of the next 8 hours, which that kind of prompts me to move down to a lower time frame. Even looking at an 8-hour, right? We can see what that move looks like. Yes, it's a hard retracement, and yes, it's pretty much a strong push down. The volume was there to match it. But I think this is, in my opinion, I think this is just enticement to induce more sellers to come into the market somewhere around here to try to push the price down. Meanwhile, I think it can just bounce out of this area that it broke out of, this smaller aqua line right here, right? Because we've been rejected. We finally broke out of it. This essentially is a test because price came all the way down to like 1595 on lower time frames and still maintained. And if we jump down a little bit lower, right, we have a strong buy candle, strong sell candle, but look what we also had. We had a change of character here. So this is going to lead to some type of pullback. If we can maintain this area above 1592, like we don't start making newer lows, we could see another leg up. If we have a strong push down to these areas over here, like 1580s, there's a strong chance it's going to come and try to test this trend line, which is the mid 1500s, 1570s, and possibly go even lower, right? So the magic number for me, it's not necessarily this trend line. It's going to be this area right here, right? Like if we lose this little area, 1546, 1549, like we have a strong push down, there's a very, very, very big chance that we see much lower, which is this projection. I was projecting this to happen in November just based on historical data, right? Where we were, and then the push back down, right? So, you go to October of last year, September, then we had October, we pushed up, we made a new high, essentially, compared to the leading months, right? The last 2 leading months, we made a new high, then we had a strong push down. It's just relatively kind of what I'm looking at, or at least looking for here, is maybe make a new high up here, but making a new high somewhere in the 1920s compared to where we were in the last couple months. Get a strong buyer inducement, and then a hard push down, or at least a crawled back down staircase, and then a hard thrust down, estimating around like the 6th of November to test this area. So parts of those pieces are coming to fruition. If we're looking at 2 days and 4 hours and 8 hours, these type of time frames, the 4 hour, even maybe down to like a 90-minute. I think that's as low as I'm going right now, just because strong volatility here in this area, good recovery here in this area. But it could also be extremely misleading. Like, hey, is this going to go back down now? You have one strong sell candle, but we don't essentially make any lower lows. And then we have essentially a candle that just, wrecked everybody that was deciding to short this downtrend, expecting this to turn into a pennant. And I get it. Like, you have a downtrend, and then you have, lower highs. You have a couple lower lows. So like the ingredients are there to say this is either going to be a pennant or a flag or a symmetrical. But remember, when we're working against institutional money, I mean, look what they did here. They just brought the price a little bit lower and then boom shot it. Get a lot of buyers in, and now they're doing the opposite. Now they're going to start pushing it down to try to trap everyone that's trying to long this area, at least on high leverage. I think people that were somewhere around here in this area, I feel like they're safe. It's not to say that they're completely out of the focus for targets to be taking out. But I think these are just going to be your stronger areas because these were pullbacks on lower time frames. But as of right now, what we want to see is this change of character hold itself, come to fruition, not make a newer low, because then we'll get another change of character on a mid time frame 4 hour, which just makes this area completely dog crap to trade, if you will. It's just going to be a confusing area. If you're risky and you want to take a risky trade, then I would trade on this trend line, right? See where we broke out from, and then build your long based on that information. Why am I looking at longs versus shorts? You guys know I like to use a DMI. If I come down to a 4 hour, I can see, there's bullish dominance that has risen, and the strength of their dominance is over 25, and it's over the DM positive. So, these are healthy signs that there's a trend reversal. Could it always point its nose down and then DM negative comes up? Yeah, absolutely. That could happen. But the likelihood of that happening right now with the ADX above the DM positive are lower chances. If the ADX was underneath the DM positive, I could see that as a possibility, meaning this was a fake out move, but the fact that ADX is above, that shows me strength. We had an overbought situation on an RSI, same with money flow, but they're running parallel, if you will, small little deviation. There's more money coming back in and losing a little bit of strength compared to the previous candle. But we have curvature, if you will, to the RSI. So it's kind of flattening out as far as this move back down. If we go over to like a 2-day, because that's really what I've been looking at, not 2-day, 12 hour, right? We can see this is a good example. Like, was this a fake out on a 12 hour? That could be a possibility because I have a DM positive above my DM negative, but my ADX is flat. So this wasn't necessarily a monumental move on a 12 hour plus time frame. For a 4 hour, if that's where we're going to build our longs from, this is where we're starting to see the trend reversal, and then we just got to monitor this accordingly, right? If we start to make lower lows, then we know that there was going to be a fake out. If we fail to make higher highs, then this is going to be an area that you build your shorts around, and we'll probably come back down here. It's just going to take a little bit longer. What we want to see is a strong buy candle, a pullback, and then a strong buy candle or candles. It doesn't have to be neck for neck or eye for eye. It can be over time. Essentially, we just don't want lower lows, and we want to keep this uptrend. The uptrend would indicate recovery. The uptrend doesn't start from here. The uptrend started from over here, right? Because this is where we made a low. This could be your atom. This can be your Eve because you have equal lows, if you will. And then we just started moving up, right? So bullish in the sense of internal structure because you have a change of character. So the trend is changing. It's on a lower time frame, 4 hour. It's subject to go back the other way. We'll know if we have a true trend change. Say that 10 times fast. We'll have a true trend change if we can close above over here. And again, that's why I'm going over to an 8 hour or even like a 2-day, because it lets me know how much time is left on that time frame, and it allows me to navigate a little bit better with a little bit more confidence. If we look at an 8 hour and you can see this long wick right here, all that tells me is that's plenty of room for price action to fill on the right. So we could come up to here, get rejected, induce more sellers, come maybe back down, test this area here, makes like a descending triangle, if you will, and then just hiya, pumps right out of here, right to the 1646 benchmark. I think once we get closes outside of this area here, we have a lot of room over here to come and test. And going back to this is just giving you a wider scope. But if you look on a 2-day, just minimize this, right? We're operating off of an N star right now from a reversal perspective. So wave C is going to be this block right here. I mean, if we can punch through this area and kind of just sit right underneath here and get one leg out of here, one leg out of here, maybe a retest to flip this support resistance area, and then move up to here, which is wave A. I think this is where there's going to be a lot of money to be made. I'm open to shorting this, like hedging a short, but I'm also going to be taking heavy profits, if I on my long here in this area. But if it wants to just keep going, look at all this, look at the downtrend, right? All this space here is just going to be nothing but imbalance to fill. So price action has to fill this on the left, just like price action has to fill all this candle to the right, because it's imbalance here. So it's going to eat it all up. So these are going to be our clues to let us know what the remainder of the week may look like going into the weekend. That would kind of signify that we may have some chop, some sideways action, maybe playing inside of a range of all the way up to here from 1630 all the way down to like 1595. That could be our range for the next couple of days. You just got to build accordingly around that. So hopefully that helps. If you guys have any questions, just leave in the comment section or in the class chat or anywhere, really, just tag me, and then I'll be more happy to assist. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.